You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Wednesday the 30th of April, 2025. It is 41 days after the spring equinox. It is 51 days before the summer solstice. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 11th day of Floréal, the day of the rhubarb. The sun rises today at 5:55 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:53 p.m. The sun sets today at 7:51 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 8:21 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 8:57 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes 20 seconds longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waxing crescent phase and is 12% full at midday. The first quarter will arrive on Sunday, the 4th of May. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the middle of the night, high tide, 12:39 a.m., 1 meter 95. In the morning, low tide, 6:57 a.m., minus 6 centimeters. In the afternoon, high tide, 1:17 p.m., 1 meter 58. In the evening, low tide, 7:03 p.m., 12 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, on our spring tree watch, the English oaks have begun to leaf out just a little after the native pin oaks. Like the pin oaks, their leaves emerge as perfect tiny versions of their grown-up selves. A line of them is planted along 31st Street under the L, just north of Broadway. They are in a line along the east side of the street. Commemorations. On this day in 1885, the Niagara Reservation was created. It was the first state park in New York, and was brought into being when the governor, David B. Hill, signed the act passed by the Assembly. We owe the preservation of Niagara Falls to this forward-thinking act of natural conservation. On this day in 1939, the 1939-1940 New York World's Fair was opened in Flushing Meadows by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. At the center of the fairgrounds stood the Trilon and Perisphere, which were demolished after the fair closed. General Motors' Futurama depicted the world they imagined would exist in 1960. The theme of the fair was Building the World of Tomorrow. At the opening of the fair on this day, NBC inaugurated its regularly scheduled television service in New York City. It broadcast the president's opening day address. On this day in 1977, the mothers of the Plaza de Mayo began their protest in Buenos Aires. Their protest challenged the military dictatorship of Jorge Rafael Videla, which had disappeared thousands of Argentines for their political views. Remember the brave witness of the mothers of the Plaza de Mayo. On this day in 1989, Tim Berners-Lee launched his invention, the World Wide Web. The software was placed in the public domain to encourage its widespread use. Who knew at the dawn of the digital age that the bright promise of connectivity would have such a powerful shadow side? On this day in 1877, Alice B. Toklas was born. She was the partner of Gertrude Stein. Their home at 27 Rue de Fleurus in Paris would become a salon for avant-garde writers and artists in the 1920s and 30s. The book, the autobiography of Alice B. Toklas, was, of course, written by Gertrude Stein, and it made Stein internationally famous. After Stein's death, Toklas published her own book, the Alice B. Toklas Cookbook, in which recipes are intermingled with memoir. She is buried at Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris, right next to Gertrude Stein. And that is the Observatory, Wednesday the 30th of April, 2025.